morning, good evening, good night, wherever the freak you are. I hope you have an amazing day. I know I haven't posted on YouTube or streamed in a while, and we'll talk about that later on in the video, but for right now, get toasty, grab some popcorn, and let's dive right into this video. So if you didn't read the caption or look at the thumbnail, this video is about Jaden Ivey, a professional basketball player who is under a lot of controversy, and you might be asking, Toast, who the heck is Jaden Ivey? I don't know. I don't really watch NBA like that or most sports, so I'm just going off of all the articles I saw, tweets, and TikTok and Instagram posts, but I think I know way more about Jaden Ivey right now than the NBA as a whole. So like I said before, Jaden Ivey is a professional basketball player who actually started off his career in the Detroit Pistons, and that's where he really shined. I mean, this dude was a young player, and he was doing really good, especially as a shooting guard, but unfortunately, he's dealt with a severe leg injury, which caused him his whole career, and you could say that leg injury put him down the slope he's at right now. After receiving this leg injury, he got switched from the Detroit Pistons to the Chicago Bulls. And from what I've read, again, I'm not a basketball player or know much about basketball, but from what I've read, the Bulls are pretty bad when you compare them to the Pistons, okay? Like, point-wise and all that stuff, their ranking is pretty bad. So it was a hit, and I mean a strong hit. You guys got to think about it from his point of view. You're at the top of your game, you're young, you're going hard, all the crowd's on you, and then out of nowhere, you get a severe leg injury, and it all starts to crumble around you. On top of that, Jaden Ivey was open about his mental health multiple times on social media.
I think as a child, I just never felt love before, but I definitely was sexually abused as a kid before I married my wife. We had went through, trials together. I dealt with anger. She had to deal with a lot of anger that I had in my heart. And that turned into, me somewhat being a abuser.
With all that stuff coming up around him, he decided to turn his faith into God, and that's where he developed this sort of religious psychosis that everyone's talking about on the internet. And what I mean by religious psychosis isn't as if like God's coming down to him and talking to him, or he has some sort of divine connection. No, it's more as simple as feeling extreme guilt, especially derived from mental illnesses and mental health. And that's how it looks like right now. I mean, he's feeling extreme guilt for what he's done in the past and his actions. And then on top of that, losing his career, basically. I mean, that leg injury made him feel as if he can't play like he used to or was the player he was. He's just going through this religious psychosis and thinking everything needs to be perfect around him. Everything needs to be righteous and so on and so forth. And that's where his problems started to escalate. Now, before I continue, I do want to say a lot of professional athletes deal with mental health issues, especially after getting an injury that causes their career. I mean, again, you put all your passion into something and your whole life into something, and within a snap, it's gone. And that could be such a mental strain on someone. Now, that doesn't excuse them for their actions, but it's something to keep in mind. And it's something to be aware of, because if these things are neglected, this could lead to alcohol abuse, drug abuse, being an abuser in a relationship, or even suicide. So now what actually happened to Jaden Ivey? Why is he under so much fire? What's the controversy? Well, let me get right into it. So Jaden Ivey was reportedly going on Instagram Live multiple times, and he would talk about random things like from burgers to religion and sinners and so on and so forth. But this one live ruined it all. And before I continue, Instagram Live, like, are we serious? This is 2026, not 2018. But besides that, this one Instagram Live completely ruined his career in a few hours. Jaden Ivey goes on Instagram Live, and for some reason, he starts getting pressed about LGBTQ and Pride Month, especially the NBA celebrating Pride Month. And listen, bro, Pride Month is in next month. Like, I don't know what dude had his panties in a twist for so much that he just had to come out and call the LGBT communities like sinners, abnormal, and just unrighteous people, and they're all going to hell. Like, who says that? Are we serious?
The world can proclaim LGBTQ. They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They say, come join us for Pride to celebrate unrighteousness.
But that one Instagram Live spread like wildfire. And as it was spreading, everyone had something to say. So many comments were popping up and even screenshots of what he used to say. For example, apparently he said that Catholics aren't true Christians and devotions of Christ. But his mom, his own mother, is a Catholic. And then also, apparently someone commented on one of his posts saying, "We're praying for you, hope you come back to the Detroits." He literally replied to that comment and said, "God doesn't accept prayers from sinners." Like, what? Are we serious? So that again is another point on why I think he's having some sort of religious psychosis. Like he is obviously going through something mentally. And once all this started happening, in a few hours, the Bulls decided to waiver him off the team and just take him out completely. With all that said, social media is social media, and people are going to have different opinions on this. On one side, a lot of Christians supported him and even praised him, saying he was some sort of a leader, a new Christian American leader, because he was standing up for what he believed. He did nothing wrong. He was just preaching his religions. That's it. And then on the other side, a lot of people thought what he said was hateful and homophobic and crossed the line between religion and hate, and that the Bulls were completely justified in what they did. They're like, yeah, they could do that. This guy's got to go. And you're probably like, Toast, it can't get worse than that, right? Like, I mean, he had a leg injury. He's suffering through mental health, and now he's getting bashed online. It can't get worse than that, right? Well, looks like Jaden Ivey doesn't learn his lesson, and he went on Instagram Live again and talking about the whole situation of him getting wavered and just going after the Bulls, other team members, even people outside of the team like LeBron and Steph Curry, calling them fake Christians. And one thing that really stood out was him talking about his family and especially wife, saying how they're all ignoring him, not talking to him after he got wavered, and saying how his wife was in the Instagram Live and didn't say anything.
That's why my wife in here, and she not even texting me.
That caused a lot of people who supported him and praised him to go attack his wife. I mean, they were calling her a slut. They were sending her death threats. They were saying very horrific things and over something that wasn't true, because apparently his wife came out and said, according to Fox News, that she's never left Jaden Ivey and she's always stuck through him through thin and thick and all that. And what she's been receiving is absolutely disgusting. Now, what makes that so important is that these self-proclaimed Christians who are acting as if, you know, they're so righteous and they're right for hating on homophobic people are out here calling some dude's wife a slut and sending her death threats. Now, this whole Jaden Ivey situation started off a huge debate saying that freedom of speech doesn't exist anymore because all he did was spread his Christian belief and was preaching. He didn't say anything wrong. But in reality, he was showing homophobic rhetorics and spreading negativity and hate. Quite literally saying disgusting things, not just to gay people, but even his own comments. So that's where we draw the line between freedom of speech and freedom of consequence. One thing I would never understand is that religious people really hate gay people when I feel like there's so much more worse things to worry about. I mean, there's actual murderers, PDF files, and rapists running in our streets. There is, corruption in our government. There's gambling, spread across online. All this stuff, and the one thing y'all want to stop on is what somebody's doing behind their closed door. Like, if Jonathan down the road wants to go take some schlong, let him schlong. Let those two girls scissor. Let those two guys rock. Like, what's the problem? Like, I've never understood that. It's not going to affect you. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to affect anyone. As long as they're not hurting themselves or hurting anyone else, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, love is love. What are we doing? No, not that hole, please. It's not supposed to go in there.
Bro, are you okay? What happened?
I couldn't stop thinking about gay people and them having sex.
It's okay.
Let's get right back into it. Here's the difference between freedom of speech and freedom of consequence. We live in a country like America where we have the right to say whatever we want. I could say fuck the government. I don't like ice cream. And look, I won't go to jail for it. However, there's a difference between that and then having a opinion that is hateful, like a racist opinion, a homophobic opinion, a sexist opinion, list goes on. If you start to have hateful rhetorics that is harmful to society, society has that right to cancel you or bring you down. And that's what they did with Jaden Ivey. Okay, the Bulls saw what he did as hateful, and so did a lot of other people, and they decided to take him off the team because, again, just because you have the right to say things doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. Like, if I said some racist things, guess what? I'm probably going to get fired the next day. I'm probably going to get kicked out of school. I'm going to get canceled on social media because society, thankfully, doesn't freak with racists or, homophobic people or sexist people. They don't freak with that. And thankfully, society tries to cancel and bring people like that, back to their play. They like to humble people like that. But again, I don't agree with cancel culture. I meant to be like, hold them accountable for what they did. But let's be honest. Why did the NBA really waiver Jaden Ivey? I mean, there's been multiple NBA players who have said racist things, homophobic things, sexist things, who abused their partners, had drug abuse, so on, so like the list goes on, okay? There have been multiple NBA players who've done that. So why is Jaden Ivey so much different? Well, I'm going to put it as simple as possible. It's capitalism. And I'm not even kidding. Because the NBA is a business. All they look at is profit. They don't care if you're this, homophobic, racist thing. As long as you're a good player and you're bringing in revenue, that's all they care about. And with Jaden Ivey's situation, he really wasn't at this point. He had a leg injury. He was averaging like 8 points a game, and he just wasn't doing good in general. So he was more of a liability to keep on the team and receive more backlash than to, kick him off. And that's what they decided to do. Again, the NBA is a business. They look at everything from an economical standpoint. That's capitalism for you. And if that's the truth, it's really sad because Jaden Ivey needs help. And instead of getting that help, he's instead getting praised by people just to spread their own agenda. And then he's getting kicked off the team that was supposed to help him because they don't want to be responsible for him anymore because it's too much of a liability. Now, again, for the people who still think this was about freedom of speech and not just a business standpoint, there was also a report that apparently Jaden Ivey was going into the locker rooms with his team and was preaching about Christianity, making a lot of the teammates uncomfortable. He would also go up to his teammates and tell them which one was righteous and which one wasn't. And apparently he would even harass NBA reporters and tell them if they had sex before marriage, they would go to hell. Like, are we serious? I mean, I think that it plays a big role on why he get kicked off the team. Like, forget everything else. The fact that he didn't get kicked off for those alone is kind of wild.
Bro, did you see that layup that dude just took? There's no way he's natty, bro. He has to be on something.
Yeah, there's no way he's natty, bro. He's got to be on something, man.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, if I took shots like that, I'd be hitting more shots than Jaden. Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey guys, if Adam can rock this fit, well, sure thing I can too, huh?
Bro, you're naked!
We're all naked in the eyes of God. Why would that matter? I'm just trying to preach Christianity to you, brother.
That doesn't mean you have to be naked in my eyes!
Well, that doesn't matter. You're unrighteous, okay? And you can't just be sleeping with anyone.
Bro, you're naked!
I don't think that's a fair point. And now, I'm gonna go talk about gay people.
What?
Like I said again, I think it's more of an economic standpoint. Like, let's say LeBron did the exact same things Jaden Ivey did. He would probably still be on the team. Heck, the team would support him even more. They wouldn't care. Why? Because he's bringing in so much money that they would just sweep it under the rug. But because Jaden Ivey is a player that isn't worth it, they don't see it like that, and they would just rather throw him away. And again, that sucks to hear. It's cold. But that's just how capitalism works, and that's how this organization works. Now, you guys might be asking, Toast, what do you think about this? Are you on Jaden Ivey's side? Are you not? Well, I'm going to be honest, guys. What I do think is what he said was extremely hateful. It was harmful and just completely uncalled for. I think he needs to be held accountable, and I think he is getting held accountable. But with that said, he is struggling a lot with his mental health. However, mental health is not an excuse for harmful behaviors. Even though with mental health, we understand why people do certain things, it doesn't excuse him for doing it. So I think he does need to get help for his mental health, but he still should be held accountable for what he said and did. But I think what annoys me the most out of this situation is that how people are glazing him, acting as if he did something right and he's spreading the truth. But in reality, he's doing nothing. Because if he really did want to talk about the NBA and the organization, he could have talked about something that's actually harming society. Because let's keep it frank, gay people, the LGBT, aren't doing anything to society. They're just living their life. They're consenting adults doing consenting things, okay? When you put that into what the NBA promotes, I mean, they promote gambling, drinking, and the list goes on. And you're telling me you're more focused about what two consenting adults are doing than how corrupt the NBA is and other organizations? Like, seriously? Like, these self-proclaimed Christians, because again, I've read the Bible. I have a lot of Christian friends. And these self-proclaimed Christians only, hate on gay people and hate these certain things just to spread their homophobic, ideals. They want to spread a hateful rhetoric, and they want to be hateful towards these different communities and groups. And it's not just gay people, but it's, other types of people, other colored people, other minorities. It's just how they are. And again, that doesn't mean all Christians, but the ones who are supporting what Jaden Ivey did, when you can obviously tell he's going through some sort of mental illness. And you are more focused on him spreading the truth rather than him being okay? I mean, look at this. Look at what this lady said on TikTok.
They are calling him crazy because he's preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. They are saying that he is mental, that he needs help, and that he has gone into a religious psychosis. When we know that that is not true.
Like, she is insane. Like, you're telling me you're seeing this man have a full mental breakdown. He's losing his career right in front of him. He's obviously suffering mentally. And you're like, well, I mean, he found God. What can I say? He found God. Like, no, this man is not okay. He needs help. He is obviously going out and saying crazy things. I mean, if you watch the whole live stream, he went from being homophobic to talking about burgers. This dude is not okay. At the same time, I don't think the NBA or these other corporations are some sort of moral heroes who do justice, but in reality are just some performative scums who really just care about profits and revenue. I mean, they only put the pride flag on for a month, and that's, again, just to boost up profits. Look, we're selling pride shirts, guys. We're so pride. Go gay. But in reality, they don't give a freak. They do not care. They never have. And it's not just with the pride community. It's with multiple minorities. And with that said, the CEO of these corporations are probably as homophobic or racist or anything like that. They're probably all these things, and then behind closed doors, they're like cross-dressing.
Yeah, you make me feel like a girl.
Sir, Jaden Ivey just got canceled.
Oh, yes!
So, am I interrupting something?
No, what would make you think that?
I just heard a loud noise.
Besides that, so Jaden Ivey, what do you do?
Bro, he's been saying like some really like homophobic stuff online, and he's just been ruining the image of NBA.
I mean, it's not like I don't disagree with him, but how many points does he average? Like 8?
I think less than that, honestly.
Yeah, just kick him off the team. We don't need him.
Just like that?
Yeah, kick him off.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta get back to my dirty models.
Sir, I have more news. What the fuck?
That's not what you did!
I think it is!
But with that all said, guys, I do think what Jaden Ivey is going through is pretty sad. Yes, I think he does need to be held accountable. What he said was disgusting and terrible. But in the center of everything, it's a man that lost everything and is now on one side getting praised as if he's some sort of leader, and then on the other side getting teared down. And when in reality, this man needs help. Like, I mean, serious help. Just like that, y'all made it to the end of the video. I do want to say I love you guys so much. And yes, we haven't been posting YouTube long form videos in a while or streaming, but I promise you guys, I want to get back into YouTube. I've always loved YouTube and making content. And I mean, I'm already yapping on TikTok, so I might as well yap on YouTube. And this was something I wanted to talk about. I had some opinions here and there, and it was just circling in the internet, so I wanted to talk about it and like get y'all's opinion on it. What did y'all think? Tell me in the comments. Was it freedom of speech? Was it being homophobic? How do you think the NBA could have handled it? You know, is he having some sort of religious psychosis? Let me know what y'all think. But other than that, guys, I love y'all so much. Thank you again so much for 100K on TikTok. And we're about to hit 10K on YouTube. We're at 25K on Instagram. It has been such a blessing and journey, and honestly, such a surprise on how everything's been going by so fast. I do want to focus on YouTube and pay more attention on YouTube, so I'm going to start putting that into my bucket list for this year. But other than that, guys, I love y'all, and don't forget to stay toasty. Oh, and push past your limits!
It's the wrong light switch.
Hey guys. Wait, forgot my line. Okay. Why does that matter? Wait, I don't have the mic. It's not gonna even pick me up.
Sir, Jaden. What the fuck was my
Okay, guys.
That hurt. That actually really hurt. Oh, yes!